host for the hot seat, Greg Cardone.
Hey, great big welcome if you're joining us for the first time, and welcome back if you're tuning in again. This is the hot seat, and I'm your host, Greg Cardone. And as usual, it's a beautiful day for an interview. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We want to go places with this for sure. So here we have today our youngest cast member in our award-winning Grinders. I'm going to show it off here. 52 wins, 82 nominations from Global Film Festival. So today, our youngest cast member that was in Grinders, we have Ari Marquez and Dave Kerlin. Thank you very much for being on here. This is great. Love it. So, guys, this was your first film. Both of you been in?
Yes, it was.
And how did it feel? And how does it feel now?
It feels amazing. I'm glad I got the part. Sure, small part, but you got to start somewhere.
Definitely. That's how everybody starts. I'm not going into how I started, but I had a real small part myself for sure. Now, this was your very first film, and now you're on our Grinders interview show with some of our big principal cast members, but everybody is just as important. So, how does it feel to be on an interview show that we're going to post and people are really going to see it?
Posting, I did YouTube myself, and I had about 100 subscribers. So I understand. An interview sometimes can be really hard to do, but for me, I just gotta say I don't really get nervous about other stuff. But it's an honor to be on here.
Well, you can hear Nugget in the background. Nugget's going to be in our next sequel film. So he's like, well, where's my interview? Which that dog, I tell you what, he wants a lot of FaceTime. So let me ask you this. How did you get cast for the role?
That question is actually a great one. Casted one day, I was just in my kitchen making something to eat, and then my grandma said that they wanted a part for a little boy walking into the shop. I said this could be something or a start to my filming career. Accepted the part, and I feel like it was perfect.
Were you nervous in that first scene that you had when we were all in Fatback's butcher shop in there? There was a lot of people, a lot of cast, a lot of crew. At one point, there was probably way too many people in there for sure. So it was like, okay, Ari, you're up. What went through your mind at that time? Like, oh, this is it. This is my big scene. So tell us about that.
Exactly like that. Kind of like in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, this is the part that I should nail. But of course, no one's going to be perfect their first time. In fact, it takes a lot of tries to get it. But doing it just made it feel like very special.
That is a great way for you to look at it. Is I'm going to nail this. I have one scene. I have 2 lines. I'm going to nail it. And I don't think maybe it was like 2 takes or something like that, without knowing and going back there. But to have, you just go in and walk in. That was great. Everybody was watching you. There was no doubt about that. The director said, cut, perfect. Was there like a feeling of elation that came over you that you were, wow, that was great. Like something you've never experienced before.
Yeah, like you said, this is my first film and Michael's first film. I was like, when they heard cut, I thought this part was definitely something I got.
You nailed it. It was great. You know what? And it doesn't make a difference. You went in, you had one job to do, and you did it. And and that's the beauty of it when you're doing something like that. Does make a difference. There are people who have really messed up one line. You would really be surprised. Well, we have a clip from the movie, and we're going to show everybody. And when we come back, maybe you can take us through it. And Dave, working with, Grandpa Dave. And this is great. The family working together on it. And, and that's what it's all about. So we're going to take a look at this clip and we'll be back.
Son of a bitch! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you standing there.
But Grandpa would like some of that special ground beef.
Hey,
We're
coming
gonna
right
eat
up.
good tonight.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
I'll put it on your account, Henry.
There you go.
Wow. Wow. Looking back at that was like maybe when I was like 11.
That was good. That was really just the camera getting him through the glass there. He just looked right at the time. It was perfect.
Also, I think we know why that was special ground beef.
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of have an idea about that, for sure. So, yeah, that's special ground beef. That it's funny that they made those labels up for it, and people like special ground beef. But that was great because we served that special ground beef during.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Actually, it looked really good. By the way, I'm talking about the after the lunch and everything. That was a great catered lunch, and it was really good.
It really was. So that's real important, is to feed the crew with that. All right. Well, now that you're a famous, movie actor, and you could show your friends, I don't know if you're on Facebook. I don't know, social media. That's a sketchy area sometimes, in there. But don't be afraid to share the YouTube link with them. If you text them or email them, and other family members would be fantastic, so they can see where you're at. And the release of Grinders is scheduled for next month, for its global release. So, that's a lot to be proud of. And, we're proud of you and Dave, coming on, as a family and being in it, because every little part that we looked at seemed like everything was all appropriate for the film. So, that was great. Let me ask you, do you play sports?
Oh, yes, I do.
You do? What do you play?
I play baseball.
Yeah, what position?
I play right field. I may switch to second baseman if my coach lets me.
I loved playing the outfield. You get a gun, you can, well, let me rephrase, you get a arm. Okay, we use that terminology. And you throw people out. It's great because they're like, oh, I'm not running on that guy, And so what other sports do you follow?
I follow football, especially from my Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, awesome.
My Orlando Magic for the NBA. I follow the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're going to try to go for a third Stanley Cup, fourth cup in franchise history. And Major League Baseball, I have my Tampa Bay Rays.
Ari is really good with stats. He can tell you everybody what they did, when they did it. He knows it back.
Knows it. I you know what? I love that. I'm actually going to share some pictures from when we had the Grinders premiere. And I forgot all about these. And, they were sent in with your information. So let's take a quick look here. Do you remember all these people in here?
Well, I do remember Red, but that's pretty much it. I know Andrew as well, of course you, but I think I completely forgot about most of them.
Trevor
It was
is all the way on the opposite side of me. He played Jackson Hardy. And then we have Grandpa Dave, we have Andrew Heller, we have Dwayne Red Brockmeyer, and myself there. I forgot all about that picture. And let's see what else we have here. What other goodies we have? Grandpa Dave, Ari Red in front of the famous truck. It was all about the truck.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
we drove that truck home after that picture. You wouldn't believe the way people were looking at us driving down Cimarron Boulevard.
There, that's just an incredible shot, with the cast members in there and Ari. That's great. You being right in the middle. New youngsters wanting to get into acting. What advice would you give them?
If I had to give my honest advice, it would just start off slow and then you'll easily progress to higher levels of film. Like, for example, in 7th grade, which was last year, I was in a filming class. I learned about different camera angles and different ways to edit.
Well, you know what? And that's really, I meet a lot of youngsters and, they ask what I do. And I just, give them a brief and they're like, oh, I always wanted to do that. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you, this has been a great interview. Seeing you again, because I haven't seen you in like 2 years, and you've grown up. What are your goals? College? Where do you kind of see yourself in 10 years? Yeah, I know that's a weird question to ask a 13-year-old, but you'll be surprised how soon college will come up. So, where are you, what's your direction?
College, specific one. My first option was either to go to Texas A&M, but because they had a high acceptance and graduation rate.
Oh, okay.
And then thinking of like other schools in the Florida region.
It is what it is. The choice you make is the choice you make. If it's right, there's no such thing as wrong. Failure is not an option in life. That's the way I look at it. All right. Well, we're coming up at the end of the show here.
Promotional consideration paid for in part by Nuggos Wonder Nuggets. Sie sind wunderbar.
Thank you again for joining us. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please go ahead and send an email to thehotseat813@gmail.com and subject line, I want to be on the show, or I want to sponsor it, or I want to be an advertiser. You know what? Doesn't hurt to ask there. So again, thank you very much. And we will see you on the hot seat.